Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. The NFL world has been buzzing like never before as rumors swirl around a historic move by the Washington Commanders, who are reportedly willing to invest a staggering $800 million to lock down Terry McLaurin through the 2030 season. Insiders claim the organization sees McLaurin not just as a top-tier wide receiver, but as a cornerstone of the franchise, the kind of player whose talent, charisma, and relentless drive could redefine the team's identity for the next decade. From casual fans to diehard analysts, everyone seems to be caught in a whirlwind of speculation, dissecting every possible angle. How the salary cap will adapt, how the locker room dynamics might shift, and whether McLaurin's loyalty could inspire other key players to stay put. Social media has exploded with memes, hot takes, and heated debates, making it clear that the story has transcended traditional sports news and entered the realm of cultural phenomena. Even those who usually shy away from NFL chatter find themselves captivated, discussing catch rates, route running, and touchdown highlights as if they were part of the drama themselves. The sheer magnitude of this potential deal has raised questions about the Commanders' long-term strategy, sparking speculation about future draft picks, trades, and how the team will balance financial commitments across the roster. Some pundits suggest that McLaurin's performance last season justified this enormous investment, highlighting games where his athleticism, agility, and sheer determination left defenders grasping at thin air. Others point to intangible qualities, leadership, professionalism, and a knack for clutch moments, as the real reason behind the franchise's willingness to commit such a record-breaking sum. As whispers of the contract continue to circulate, the NFL community watches with bated breath, trying to discern whether this is a calculated masterstroke or an audacious gamble that could reshape Washington's football future for years to come. Sources close to the team hint that negotiations have been intense, with multiple rounds of discussions taking place behind closed doors. McLaurin's camp, they say, is asking for not just financial security but also assurances about the team's direction, offensive schemes, and the chance to compete at the highest level. Every insider seems to have a slightly different angle, from former players suggesting McLaurin could become the face of the franchise, to salary cap experts calculating potential wiggle room for other key positions. Fans have taken notice, creating hashtags and fan pages dedicated solely to tracking the rumor mill, speculating on signing bonuses, guaranteed money, and performance incentives that could be part of the record-breaking agreement. Analysts are debating whether the deal could serve as a precedent in the NFL, potentially influencing contracts for elite wide receivers across the league, as teams reconsider the financial benchmarks for keeping homegrown talent. Meanwhile, sports podcasts, YouTube channels, and live streams are dissecting every practice video, every touchdown celebration, and even off-field interactions, trying to piece together a picture of a player and a team on the brink of monumental change. The narrative has expanded beyond mere football metrics, transforming into a story about loyalty, ambition, and the increasingly blurred line between sports and spectacle. Some speculate that McLaurin's decision will hinge on intangibles, such as relationships with coaches, the franchise's vision for the future, and the presence of fellow players who can push him to greatness. Others warn that a contract of this scale could introduce pressure unlike anything the young wideout has experienced, raising questions about how he will respond to expectations magnified by both media scrutiny and fan anticipation. And in this whirlwind, one certainty seems to emerge. If the deal goes through, it will become an iconic moment in NFL history, a story fans and analysts will reference for years, perhaps decades, to come. The magnitude of the reported $800 million commitment has sparked endless debates on platforms like Twitter, TikTok, and Reddit, where fans and analysts dissect every facet of the rumor. Conversations stretch from macro-level implications, how the deal might reshape the franchise, to granular details, like whether McLaurin's elite speed and precise route running justify such a financial leap. Pundits argue passionately about what this means for the Commanders' offensive strategy, speculating that with McLaurin secured long-term, the team could attract other key free agents eager to join a stable and ambitious project. Others delve into salary cap gymnastics, debating how Washington could structure the contract to maximize flexibility while maintaining competitiveness across the roster. There's even chatter about how this move could pressure rival franchises to rethink their priorities, igniting a ripple effect that might redefine negotiations league-wide. Fans have become amateur analysts overnight, creating infographics, spreadsheets, and mock press conferences to simulate contract breakdowns and potential future scenarios. Meanwhile, some commentators raise cautionary flags, reminding viewers that mega deals, while glamorous, often come with hidden pressures and expectations that can alter team chemistry. Social media is flooded with hypothetical storylines, imagining McLaurin catching game-winning touchdowns while the weight of an $800 million contract looms over every snap. Through it all, the excitement remains palpable, a blend of speculation, anticipation, and genuine awe at the audacity of the rumored move, leaving the sports world in a state of suspended disbelief and eager curiosity. Adding another layer to this rumor is the discussion about McLaurin's role within the franchise, which many insiders suggest could evolve into something far beyond a standard wide receiver position. Sources whisper that the Commanders might be envisioning McLaurin as a franchise ambassador, a symbol of stability and excellence who draws both fans and talent to Washington. Conversations around team culture, mentorship, and leadership have gained traction, with analysts noting that securing McLaurin long-term could serve as a catalyst for broader organizational growth. Coaches are reportedly thrilled about the potential of building schemes around his unique skill set, allowing creative freedom that might maximize his impact on the field. Meanwhile, fan forums light up with speculation about merchandise, media appearances, and McLaurin's potential influence on the city's sporting identity. Some suggest that the deal, if finalized, could establish a new benchmark in NFL player valuation, creating a ripple effect that changes how elite talent is compensated and perceived. Critics, however, caution that the sheer size of the rumored commitment could strain team finances, limit flexibility for other acquisitions, and heighten scrutiny from media outlets and rival franchises. Despite these concerns, excitement dominates the conversation, with commentators imagining scenarios where McLaurin leads electrifying comebacks, shatters records, and solidifies his legacy as one of the league's defining stars. The narrative now intertwines financial strategy, player development, and fan engagement, creating a complex, multi-layered story that is as much about potential as it is about performance. Rumors hint that McLaurin himself has become a strategic linchpin in negotiations, leveraging his past achievements and future promise to secure not just compensation, but a level of influence rarely afforded to players at his position. As the story continues to unfold, every tweet, blog post, and media segment seems to feed the frenzy, amplifying anticipation and speculation around a deal that could redefine Washington Commanders football for years to come. The potential ramifications of locking Terry McLaurin until 2030 are massive, and sources close to the Commanders suggest that the team is already brainstorming long-term plans built around him. From offensive schemes tailored to his elite speed and route precision to leadership roles within the locker room, McLaurin is rumored to be at the center of a strategic blueprint that stretches far beyond a single season. Analysts speculate that the team might leverage his presence to attract other high-profile free agents, creating a domino effect that could transform Washington into a perennial contender. Fans are abuzz with discussions about the psychological impact on opponents, imagining defensive coordinators scrambling to account for a player whose contract alone demands attention. Even casual observers are drawn into the narrative, debating whether McLaurin's on-field production can sustain the expectations that come with an $800 million deal. Social media platforms are flooded with creative content, from mock interviews to highlight reels framed as if he's already cemented his legacy. Meanwhile, insiders whisper about potential endorsement opportunities and off-field influence, suggesting that McLaurin could redefine the Commanders' cultural footprint. The sheer scope of speculation turns every game, practice, and media appearance into a story within a story, blurring the lines between rumor and reality while amplifying the aura surrounding both player and franchise. Another angle generating significant buzz is how this mega deal could affect team dynamics, with sources hinting that teammates and staff are already adjusting their approach in anticipation of McLaurin's long-term commitment. Locker room chemistry is a recurring topic, with some insiders suggesting that his elevated status could inspire others to elevate their game, while critics warn that concentrating so much influence in one player might create tension among key contributors. Analysts dissect every interaction, from on-field celebrations to sideline gestures, speculating about subtle cues that hint at leadership style, team harmony, and morale. Financial strategists are calculating how the contract might influence future draft decisions, wondering whether the organization can maintain flexibility while honoring its commitment to McLaurin. Fans on forums create elaborate what-if scenarios, imagining dominant seasons, playoff pushes, and the ways a franchise cornerstone can redefine expectations for a city hungry for football glory. Even former players weigh in, providing anecdotes about the pressures that come with mega contracts and the mental toughness required to perform under relentless scrutiny. Each new rumor, whether about performance incentives or clauses in the deal, fuels the frenzy, making it increasingly difficult to separate speculation from potential reality. Through it all, the story captivates not just the NFL community, but the general sports audience, illustrating the power of narrative when a single player becomes a symbol of ambition, identity, and possibility for an entire franchise. Meanwhile, the media landscape is evolving around this rumor, with sports networks, podcasts, and YouTube channels dissecting every shred of information about McLaurin's deal. Analysts debate not only numbers, but also narrative angles, considering psychological, cultural, and marketing implications. Social media amplifies every perspective, giving rise to viral content, memes, and discussions that extend far beyond traditional sports reporting. Some insiders speculate that McLaurin's contract could redefine player valuation, creating a ripple effect that alters the market for elite receivers across the league. Fans meticulously track financial breakdowns, predicted touchdown totals, and even potential jersey sales, treating the rumor as if it's already concrete news. Coaches are rumored to be devising schemes specifically designed to maximize McLaurin's influence on the field, experimenting with formations and playbooks that could showcase his strengths. The anticipation surrounding this potential mega deal has transformed ordinary practices into events worthy of analysis, with each snap and route scrutinized for hints of strategic evolution. Ultimately, the narrative around McLaurin blends athletic achievement with spectacle, financial strategy, and cultural influence, creating a multidimensional story that continues to grow in intensity as speculation, excitement, and debate ripple through the football world. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. Beyond the financial and strategic implications, there's growing discussion about the symbolic meaning of this rumored deal, with commentators suggesting that McLaurin represents more than just talent. Sources hint that the Commanders see him as a generational player capable of shaping the franchise's identity, inspiring fans, and redefining organizational standards. Social media campaigns speculate on potential milestones, from career records to leadership accolades, framing McLaurin as a transformative figure whose presence could catalyze a cultural shift in Washington. Analysts compare the situation to past historic contracts, noting that few players have been positioned as both cornerstone and ambassadors simultaneously. The speculation extends to merchandising, endorsements, and community engagement, where McLaurin's impact could reach far beyond the gridiron. Fans theorize that his influence could affect draft priorities, coaching strategies, and even the mental approach of younger players, creating a ripple effect throughout the organization. Media outlets dissect each public statement and interview, searching for subtle hints of confidence, ambition, or concern that might inform predictions about his performance under immense scrutiny. The rumor now functions as a multifaceted story, blending sport, business, culture, and personality, engaging audiences across platforms while fueling a narrative that seems destined to define an era in Washington football history. Rumors also suggest that McLaurin's camp is strategically leveraging his market value, playing multiple sides while signaling loyalty to the Commanders, a tactic insiders describe as a delicate balance between ambition and commitment. Negotiation dynamics are a hot topic, with experts analyzing timing, phrasing, and public statements for subtle indications of leverage. Fans dissect social media interactions, highlighting body language, captions, and off-field appearances as potential clues in the unfolding saga. Analysts speculate about the broader league impact, suggesting that a finalized deal could establish new benchmarks for elite receivers and force rival franchises to reconsider their valuation strategies. Meanwhile, the narrative continues to blend personal storyline and organizational strategy, with whispers that McLaurin's influence could extend to coaching decisions, draft priorities, and the team's vision for years to come. Podcasts feature speculative panels, mock scenarios, and animated discussions, transforming the rumor into a full-fledged cultural phenomenon. Enthusiasts create charts, projections, and highlight reels, attempting to visualize the potential effects of an $800 million commitment. Every new nugget of information, no matter how small or unconfirmed, becomes part of the lore, feeding a feedback loop of speculation, analysis, and excitement that keeps audiences engaged and invested in the evolving story. As the rumor gains traction, discussions around McLaurin's potential legacy intensify, with experts debating whether locking him to such a historic deal could cement his status as one of the game's defining players. The conversation spans decades of NFL history, comparing McLaurin to past legends who shaped franchises, highlighting the high stakes involved in a decision that could define Washington's trajectory for years. Social media amplifies opinions, with fans engaging in debates over metrics, leadership qualities, and clutch performance, attempting to quantify both on-field and off-field impact. Analysts also ponder the psychological dimensions, considering how expectations tied to a contract of this magnitude might affect motivation, resilience, and consistency. Speculation extends to potential playoff scenarios, imagining how McLaurin could serve as a catalyst for deep postseason runs and game-defining moments. The narrative also touches on marketing and brand building, as an $800 million commitment positions both player and franchise in a spotlight that transcends traditional sports coverage. Media outlets track every nuance, while fan communities dissect possible outcomes, creating a living, evolving story fueled by rumor, anticipation, and imagination. Even casual observers are drawn into the debate, illustrating the magnetic pull of a potential megadeal and the cultural weight it carries beyond mere statistics or touchdowns. Insider whispers hint at an intricate web of strategic planning behind the scenes, with McLaurin's potential contract influencing everything from team culture to roster construction. Sources claim executives are meticulously considering long-term ramifications, balancing immediate competitive needs with future flexibility. Fans speculate on what this could mean for coaching hires, offensive schemes, and even practice regimens, imagining a world where one player's presence reshapes organizational priorities. Social media platforms are flooded with polls, breakdowns, and fan theories, treating speculation as an interactive narrative where every detail counts. Analysts highlight how securing McLaurin might send a message to the league, signaling Washington's intent to compete at the highest level while building a dynasty around a single cornerstone. At the same time, critics warn of the pressures such a monumental deal could introduce, emphasizing mental toughness, media scrutiny, and the weight of public expectation. The rumor continues to generate excitement and tension in equal measure, creating a dynamic where every update, tweet, or report adds fuel to a fire that refuses to die down. Through it all, McLaurin and the Commanders occupy a narrative space that blends sport, business, and culture, captivating audiences across the globe. Finally, the ongoing buzz surrounding McLaurin's rumored megadeal paints a picture of a league in flux, where historic contracts carry not only financial significance, but also symbolic weight. The story has evolved into a complex narrative encompassing performance, legacy, culture, and strategy, engaging audiences in ways that extend far beyond standard sports reporting. Rumors about signing bonuses, incentives, and guaranteed money intermingle with discussions of leadership, city impact, and team identity, making this saga a multidimensional phenomenon. Fans eagerly dissect every play, tweet, and media appearance, crafting theories about the long-term trajectory of both McLaurin and the Commanders. Analysts speculate on precedent-setting implications, considering how a finalized deal could influence negotiations league-wide and reshape valuation standards for elite talent. Meanwhile, social media amplifies every facet, creating a feedback loop where rumor and anticipation merge seamlessly, blurring the line between speculation and reality. Ultimately, whether the $800 million commitment materializes or not, the story itself has already achieved legendary status, a narrative that reflects ambition, drama, and the high-stakes world of modern NFL sports. The sheer scale, audacity, and intrigue of the rumor have ensured that Terry McLaurin and the Washington Commanders remain at the center of conversation, debate, and imagination, keeping fans and analysts alike riveted as the saga unfolds in real time. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.